Did you guys know that Louis had a girlfriend? Did you guys know that Louis's girlfriend's name is Eleanor? And that she has a vagina? And that she is in fact a woman? Eleanor is his girlfriend. Louis has a girlfriend. Her name is Eleanor. Eleanor is his girlfriend. We get it, Louis. You're trying to be straight. You're trying to remind yourself that you have a girlfriend and that she's a woman, she has a vagina, and her name is Eleanor. I'm surprised he hasn't forgotten her name. I mean, he already forgot Danielle's, let's be honest. Anyway, hey guys, it's Sarah. I have a few topics to talk about today that are bullshit and they kind of make me really mad. They just really grind my gears. So anyway, yeah, let's just get right into it. Here's the latest news that's been happening in the past couple days. Alright, this first topic is one of the topics that really grind my gears. So basically, a couple days ago, went on Twitter, went through the hashtags, and I saw that Respect Harry was trending, and I'm like, duh, everybody should be respecting Harry. That man deserves so much praise. He's queen. But anyway, went through the hashtag, wanted to see what was up, and I thought it was a positive hashtag, but when I kept scrolling, what I saw was just like, how do I put this? Disgusting. So unfortunately, there's been many times in the past where Harry hasn't gotten the respect that he's deserved, but this time, it was this. That girl literally went to Harry's apartment with flowers while wearing a silk robe and lacy top. Definition of a head ass. And this was said girl who was wearing that Walmart outfit. I heard it was a groupie and they went outside of Harry's apartment or a hotel or something and they were trying to stalk him or trying to have sex with him or something. They were basically just trying to hunt him down, get his attention, and kind of like be slutty while doing it. Now look, I'm not the type of person to point out a person's looks or get down on their looks just because they did something just disgusting. So I'm not going to look at the picture of the girl and say mean things about her as a person because I just don't believe in that. But I just don't get this whole groupie thing. And I don't get why someone who claims they're a fan would want to go do that. Like objectify Harry and see him as just this sex symbol. And guys, it's funny because I don't even think Harry was home. Like these girls who found his apartment or wherever he was living, Harry probably wasn't even there because guess where Harry is? He is currently in Canada with his mom and Cindy Crawford, her husband, and some friends. So this says Harry, his mom, Cindy Crawford, the children, they were on a private island in Canada. And here are a couple pictures of Harry in Canada. And oh look, Harry found the camera again. Harry has to have this sixth sense. The fact that he always knows where the camera is, like that is creepy. When you think you're subtle, you're not. So thank God Harry was safe in Canada, away from those groupie girls. Because it would suck if Harry was actually home, he was just doing things in private and those girls were bothering him for hours, just being provocative and shit. And I'm so glad that our fandom can stick up for our boys, we can all come together and point out the shit that these people do. So hopefully none of this will happen again. And also speaking of Harry, he will actually be performing on the VMAs. There was a sign that says Brace for Impact, Sunday, August 27th, 2017, Music Awards. Okay, I need to go get a calendar and write that event down on that date. Oh my god, I'll be in college by then. That is the day before classes start for me. What a great way to get to know my roommates. Like guys, oh my god, turn on the TV, turn on the VMAs. Why? Harry Styles is on? That's gonna be my new life, guys. Now is the time to talk about a very important topic. It should be on every news channel. Louis Tomlinson's new haircut. Now, before I go into any more about Louis or this topic, I'm just gonna show you guys a beautiful slideshow of Louis, because as I said, he's a model. I'm I'm not even kidding, I'm sweating. I don't know if it's the humidity or the Louis Tomlinson pictures. I'm just so confused at this point. And this also says, Louis kept asking the fans for their opinions on his new haircut. Louis, you don't need opinions. If you think your hair looks great, then obviously it is. Louis's opinion is like the only one that matters to me. But no guys, in all seriousness, I am a big fan of Louis's haircut. I love the undercut, like how it looks longer on top, it's shorter on the sides. I think he just looks a lot cleaner. It's a better look for him. Obviously, Louis looks good in everything, but I really like the new haircut. And guys, believe me, when you get a new haircut, you just feel 10 times better. You feel like a new person. You feel like you can go and achieve anything. You feel like your skin has cleared. You can go apply for a new job. Like, just a little haircut can make a big difference in your life. So I'm really glad Louis looks so happy in the pictures. And also, speaking of the Louis pictures, a lot of fans have noticed that Louis has braces, but they're clear, so you can barely see them. So this says Louis has clear braces on his teeth, which is why when I asked him to smile, I got the most closed lip smile ever. But as you can see in these pictures, you can faintly see some braces on his teeth, even though it looks very clear. And I'm sure Louis did that intentionally because no one wants to show that they have braces. Trust me, I had them for 6 years. I've had everything that has to do with the dentist. But like, since it's Louis Tomlinson, I still think he'd look cute with braces, you know, if we could see them. But like, in my opinion, Louis's teeth were already straight. I mean, they were like the straightest thing about him. So I don't know why he has braces. I think Louis's trying to be straighter in general, so that's why he's trying to make his teeth even more straight. I mean, I give him credit for trying. And also, speaking of Louis, he's had some interviews recently where he's spilled some very important information. And yes, it is very important. This says, update, Louis admitted he sleeps naked. So wait a second. You're saying that all those selfies that Louis took on Instagram were probably in the nude? Like all the ones where he had his shirt off and he just clearly woke up because of like his bed hair and all that, and his little sleepy eyes. He was probably not wearing anything but like the camera angle cut off here. Damn. Louis also said that his favorite tattoo is the "is what it is" tattoo. I love this so much because Louis will literally talk about Eleanor all the time and mention her name in like every interview, but when it comes to like, oh, what's your favorite tattoo? You would think he'd say the E tattoo because it's like for Eleanor, but no, it's the "is what it is" tattoo. And can I remind you that that's the tattoo that corresponds with Harry's butterfly tattoo? And that's not us reaching. There's actual evidence that that tattoo went with Harry's butterfly tattoo. It came in a set at the same tattoo parlor they got their tattoos at. Even if those two tattoos weren't a pair, just the fact that his favorite tattoo is "it is what it is," that sentence basically describes like everything going on. Like, that's the way I feel about everything. Like, Louis and Harry fuck. It is what it is. Louis actually said that the song Always You is about Eleanor.
There's a song that's probably my favourite that I've written. It's very personal to me, called Always You, that I got on the album.
Okie dokie. What's it about?
It's about Eleanor, my girlfriend, yeah.
Right, okie dokie.
My girlfriend Eleanor. Yes, that's how he always says it. And I'm just like, okay, this does not make sense, because a couple videos ago when I was talking about Louis' song Always You, I was reading Louis' description of the song Always You, and when I read that, it had nothing to do with Eleanor. So how come all of a sudden Always You is about Eleanor when literally when he was describing it like a week ago, he did not even mention Eleanor's name? Did Louis like forget that he had to mention Eleanor? Did his team of people talk to him in the end like, Louis, you were supposed to mention Eleanor when it came to your song, but you didn't. So next interview, say Eleanor's name about 10 times and don't forget to say my girlfriend in front of her name, just so everybody knows that you are straight and taken, and obviously not with Harry. How much you want to bet that's how the conversation went? Like, oh my god, this is just, it's almost laughable at this point. Like, guys, the more Louis talks about Eleanor, the less I believe in it. The more someone has to say that someone is their girlfriend, it doesn't sound very convincing anymore. If I just met someone, I will tell them that, okay, this is my friend Kyla, whatever. But I mean, after a while, I'm not gonna keep addressing my friend as my friend Kyla. I'm just gonna call her Kyla. So why does Louis feel like he has to keep saying my girlfriend Eleanor or just mention her randomly in like every sentence? Just makes the whole thing sound fake. And the fact that Louis even trying to convince us that Always You is about Eleanor, like listen, Danielle was there around that time when Louis was going through all that shit. If not Danielle, it was definitely Harry. Harry was the one going into the hospital. He was there for Louis. So like, is Louis basically trying to imply that it was always Eleanor? Like, yeah, we broke up, but it was always you. I knocked up this chick and had a baby and like dated other people, but it's always you. People say I cheated, but it's always you. Not that I believe all the rumors, but that does not add up. I do not think that Always You would be about Eleanor, but you know what? I'm gonna wait to hear the lyrics when the song comes out. Then I will make my final opinion. I'm done. Like, I don't even feel like I should be mad about this anymore. Again, this is like really laughable. I just have a feeling that Eleanor renewed her bearding contract because she spent all her bearding money on Starbucks. So she rang Louis up and she was like, hello, hope you still need a beard because I spent all the money at Starbucks, which is basically where I live now. I'm like the mascot, practically the manager. So if you don't mind, contact your team and make them think that we're in love again. Wait, Louis, hello? I think out of all Louis' beards, Eleanor might have been the most desirable one. I don't think Louis could deal with Danielle. She was too American, too much drama. She maybe couldn't tolerate Louis' gayness or that Harry was always around. Louis probably talked about Harry all the time, so she couldn't deal with that. But I mean, I feel like Eleanor got used to Louis talking about Harry all the time, and that's why Louis kept her around. Obviously, guys, everything I'm saying is a joke. Please do not take it too seriously in the comments. I'm just having fun. After all this bullshit we've gotten in the fandom, why can't I joke? And lastly, I would like to show you a clip of Louis sassing an interviewer. It is everything.
We've watched the video a couple of times. The video we watched is in Doncaster.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this question? When are you going to film the real video?
What are you talking about, lad? I hope that's no disrespect to Doncaster. You better watch your mouth, son.
Yes, baby, say it. I love how Louis can be sassy but nice at the same time. Because guys, to be sassy, you don't need to be rude. Like, Louis can just roast people and just kill them in just 3 little words. Like, Louis slays my existence. He could just say one word to me and I'd be like, okay. I love him so much. Anyway, guys, that's basically all the news for today. If I left anything out, just leave it down below. I feel like I might have left stuff out because this was fairly a short video. But anyway, yeah, I make a video whenever I want, so like and subscribe. All my social media is down in the description, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. What should they do, Harry?
They should subscribe to this channel.
There you go. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.